And welcome back. One final segment on our CBTV High School Football Playoff preview from Dickey's Barbecue Pit, 10,008 South Point Parkway. Mike Neville along with George Kearns and David Robbins. I should mention George Kearns from Crunch Magazine, by the way. You want to get that out there. And again, we want to thank Tony DeMarco in the first segment from River Bend High School. All right, we're at 2A. George, let's take a look at the 2A East lineup in the brackets.
Number 1, Stewart's Draft against number 8, Madison County. Number 5, Central Woodstock against number 4, East Rockingham. Number 6, Buffalo Gap against number 3, Clark County. Number 7, Strasburg against number 2, Goochland.
And any surprises in those brackets, do you think, or do you think that the higher seeds will all prevail?
I think the higher seeds will prevail. Central Woodstock, East Rockingham, that'll be a good matchup. Clark County could have to face Goochland in the next round.
Goochland, pretty good football team, aren't they?
Yeah, they're pretty good.
All right, let's take a look at the 2A West side of the bracket.
We got number 1, Appomattox, on a 26 win streak in the VHSL right now, and they'll be taking on number 8, Giles, and number 5, Union against number 4, Dan River.
That's a pair of 10-1. Sorry, George. That's a pair of 10-1 teams.
Yeah, that's the matchup I talked about last week, Union and Dan River. Like I said, and with Appomattox waiting in the wings, and that's going to be a real good game. And like I say, both of them are 10-1. You hate to see somebody lose, but you know. Number 6, Glenver, one of the Crunch teams, beat Gate City 34-27. They got to go down to number 3, Richlands, and number 7, Martinsville against number 2, Graham.
And that Glenvar and Richlands, you got 10-1 Richlands against 9-2 Glenvar, but Glenvar is, as you mentioned, what did we say, a 6th seed. So any possibilities of an upset there?
It's possible. Richlands lost to Abington earlier in the year. I think Glenvar is playing really good ball right now. They've won like 8-9 in a row, and they started out 1-1, and now they're 9-2.
Okay, all right. So that's
now I'm talking about the while ago Martinsville. There they are again, 7th seed. Now 8-3. You think they got a shot at Graham?
Yeah. Martinsville's got a good team this year. They can go down there and they can beat Graham. Anything is possible. Like you said, like Timmy said last week, all the records, that don't mean nothing no more. Any team can go down there and you got a chance on any given day.
All right, let's get to 1A, and we've got to talk about David Robinson's Colonial Beach Drifters, because he has been in love with the Drifters.
And I didn't go to Colonial Beach, folks. I went to Spotsylvania.
He's been in love with the Drifters, but hey, why not? They're 8-2, and they got Charles City up next, George.
Yeah, Charles City winners over Franklin 30-28, and they'll be going to Colonial Beach, and Essex will be going to Riverheads.
That's a 6-5 Essex team taking on Riverheads, which is 9-1, and you think the higher seed in that one is definitely going to prevail, right?
Yeah, I think so.
What about Colonial Beach and Charles City? Can they move on?
Yeah, I think Colonial Beach can beat them, and then they would have to play Riverheads next round.
And then the other brackets from 1A East, George?
Number 1, Sussex Central against number 9, Luray. Number 5, Alta Vista against number 4, Central Lunenburg.
What about those two games?
Should be pretty good games. Alta Vista and Central Lunenburg, a rematch of earlier in the year, and Alta Vista with winners in there, and so it should be a pretty good game.
And let's check out the 1A West side of things.
Number 1, Galax against number 8, John Burton. Number 5, Chilhowie against number 4, Fort Chiswell. Number 6, Perry McClure against number 3, Hurley. Number 7, Patrick Henry of Glade Spring against number 2, George Wythe of Wytheville.
Okay, any upsets or do you think any of the lower seeds have a shot to move on?
Not really. The higher seeds should prevail in this. John Burton is playing good football right now, and Chilhowie Fort Chiswell should be a really good game.
How about the Perry McCurry and Hurley game?
Yeah, they got a long ways to go from Buena Vista down to Hurley.
Yeah.
So it should be a pretty good game, though.
And that's one thing we talked about, with North Stafford last week going down all the way down to Patrick Henry Roanoke. You got to factor that in, too, when you talk about it, because those 2-3 hour bus rides, that's tough on the kids, and it takes a special resolve to get off that bus and pick up a win.
Yeah, it certainly does. And like Heritage had to go drive 5.5 hours down to GW Danville, and then got to turn around and go another 5 hours down to Roanoke this weekend, down to Vinton to play William Byrd.
George, you've seen a lot of football throughout the state of Virginia, different classifications, different teams, and different schools. Are there many differences between? I mean, obviously, you take a look at Northern Virginia and our area here in Fredericksburg. Probably athletes are a little bit better, but as far as the concept, is it pretty much the same philosophies? Do you think?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same. I love football down the Roanoke Valley. Is always good games down there, and communities, they all come out. You know, like the town is just empty. Everybody goes to the games, and it's really nice.
David, that's one thing here in the Fredericksburg area, unfortunately, that has happened over the years is now we know each county has about 5 or 6 schools, and the casual fan that's not devoted to one school has their choice of where to go, and it really does hurt the gate a little bit because back when I first started, there was only like 2 or 3 schools, so I mean, but it really has hurt.
You're right, and back when I played at Spotsylvania in the '60s, the James Monroe Spotsylvania game was. I mean, everything stopped in Spotsylvania County. Right. I don't care what the record was. Right. We never did beat them the whole time I played, but everybody went to the football game and watched James Monroe and Spotsylvania. Yep. And but nowadays, like I say, there's so many schools watered down. It's not the same. It's everything is watered down.
I remember when Lou Sorrentino was at Culpeper and they won the state title, and that day of the state title game, like I say, if you're a burglar or a criminal, you could have got away with a lot of stuff because there was almost everybody was following Culpeper.
You're exactly right.
Yeah. And
let me say one more thing, and you're going to get after me about this. I think it should be said. Colonial Beach only has 18 ball players. They have no JV team.
Right.
They haven't had a JV
it's amazing,
team, and I don't know how long it's been. It's just totally amazing that you can a school that has 246 kids, and like I say, half of those are girls.
Right.
Nothing against girls.
Right.
They don't play football.
Right.
It can take a football team and do what Jeremy Jack has done there. I'm totally amazed by it. I don't think anybody in the state probably doesn't have a JV team. It may be in some of those small schools, but it's done as much as that in that little town of Colonial Beach.
Exactly. What's been the key, real quick, George, to their success? Do you think?
They've just been playing good ball and consistent. Winning so many games in a row and being balanced offense and defense. They got a good shot to go on.
All right. Well, we're just about ready to wrap things up here at Dickey's Barbecue Pit. Again, we thank them for their support of our player of the game all season long. They're at 10,008 South Point Parkway, right in front of American Family Fitness. My thanks to George Kearns with Crunch Magazine, and, of course, to David Robinson. And, again, we want to thank Tony DeMarco, the head coach for Riverbend, stopping by in our first segment. Hope you've enjoyed our playoff preview, and good luck to all the area teams. Got some good games. Eastern View, Chancellor, Riverbend, and Manchester, and Colonial Forge playing as well. Good luck to all the area teams. Hope that they can keep their postseason play. Good luck to the Crunch teams, exactly. And we thank you for watching CVTV's High School Football Playoff Preview from Dickey's Barbecue Pit here in Spotsylvania County on Spotsylvania Parkway. Have a great night, everybody. I keep forgetting about your Crunch Magazine. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
David, you want to talk? So what do you